Hey everyone, welcome to the Movements Podcast. This is your new improved host, Brooke Amaral, with my co-host here. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Isaac.
All right, good job. That was
How was that? Good?
Yeah, like 9 out of 9.
Oh, no.
Yeah, see how we changed it up a little
Yeah,
bit?
you know what? I was actually thinking.
Tell me, what were you
today,
thinking?
I was like, I'm gonna hijack the intro. Like when you started, legit.
Really?
I was gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you said, do it.
Yeah, you are annoying like that. Okay, really quick side notes. I probably shouldn't talk about this at the beginning of the podcast in case people tune out. But yesterday was Global Run Day. So it was June 4th. Yes, yesterday was June 4th. Really good turnout. Around like 50 people showed.
What'd you do? Tell me again.
So we
you
met at
in
Victoria Park.
Yeah.
And then like Run Parlor was there with a shoe demo fleet from New Balance. Lululemon came. They gave free socks to everyone that showed, which was really cool. Nice little gift.
Yeah.
And it was like the last bit of speed work before the Forest City Road Race that's happening this Sunday. But I say all this because there was a few people that came up to me that were like, oh, we're really excited to come to Ladies Movement, to Brooke's Ladies Movement class.
Oh, really?
I'm like, oh, nice.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I said, yeah, we're going to be doing, our goal is to do a free one every single month. So stay tuned. But yeah, it was just cool that people were bringing that up.
Awesome. Were they Lulus or just
No,
randoms?
randoms.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
Great. Spread the word.
Spread the word. So, although that's not what we're talking about today, that is a goal that we have. Is like, this should be another podcast episode where, like, there's like a pyramid to sort of the way I think of how our business and fitness and health goes. Like, we have movement strength at the bottom, which is really like the pillar that we feel everyone should come and be a part of, and learn more about nutrition, learn more about accountability, like all those bits, and fitness, obviously. But like, we also understand that people are busy. They can't always make it to the gym. Just like life happens, or we know that we're not like a Fit for Less where it's $15 a month. Like, we are a bit more premium. So because of that, we've sort of created other ways to help the London community get fit and healthy. Cause like, that's our big goal at the end of the day, is to try to have a big an impact on our city as possible.
Yep.
So, we're aiming to we have a free run club every single week that runs Wednesdays, and it's a running workout, and like, it is open to everybody, and all fitness levels can join, because you just run at your own speed in a designated area, so you don't get lost or scared. Like, we've created a little community around that. We have a bunch of free pop-up classes that we do. So we're going to do a free ladies movement class once a month. We do yard work, which is a men's only class, a few times a month as well. So
That's going really well too.
yeah. Yeah. And then we obviously have a ton of free content, this podcast.
Yep.
We have a blog. Like, there's all these things that we're trying to do to give back to the community in a free manner, just to try to have as big an impact as possible.
Love it.
Quick little side note. But the focus for today, we figured it was, since it's June, I don't know what the first day of summer is.
It's like the 20-something.
Of June?
22nd, 24th. Yeah.
I feel like as soon as June hits, it's summer. Like,
It's
June 1st,
summertime.
Summer.
We have felt it. It's here.
Yeah, yesterday,
I know.
super hot.
And Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even today, like, it's rainy, but it's hot.
Warm. It's here.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about, like, we kind of feel there's really 3 main goals that people have for summer. It's either, people are looking to like lose weight, lose body fat, build muscle. Like, I know that's a few goals, but like, that's like,
Yeah, like physique goals.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's, the goal of like, I just want to maintain where I'm at. Like, maybe you worked hard throughout the winter time to get your summer body. I hate to say that, but like, let's be realistic.
I was going to say, let's be real here. We don't need to like sugarcoat it. People want to look good.
Yes.
People want to look good.
Exactly. So maybe you've put the work in to get there for summer, and you're happy with where you're at, which is amazing. And then there's this third camp that I don't really think exists, but we'll just say it because we sometimes hear it, which is like, I don't want to care at all this summer. I'm just enjoying it. I'm going to do what I want to do. So what we wanted to talk about today is just some sort of like little bits around those 3 goals, and like what you can do to make those a reality during that time.
Yeah.
So I wrote down notes, because I'm like, I want there to be some kind of flow.
And I'm winging it.
And you're winging it. So I thought you were going to be the host this time, though.
Yeah, I wing my shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll start things off first by posing a question, which is, do you think it is realistic for people to have like a physique goal during the summer?
Yeah, absolutely.
And elaborate.
Let me explain. Yeah, I think whatever you decide to do and clear on your goals, anything's possible. I think first is just like really being realistic about what you want and what you're willing to do. Because let's be honest, if you have physique goals, you need to be willing to make sacrifices during the summer. Are you willing?
Yeah.
And I think I need to figure out, I want to bring up this quote. You know me and my quotes, my bumper stickers.
Bumper sticker Brooke.
Oh, I got to find it. I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna try and memorize it here.
She's a mess right now. She's dropping her phone on the ground.
Oh, with my phone.
It's okay.
Okay, so let me think here for a second. I share it. It's on my my orientation that I do with all my ladies, and okay, make peace with the. No, I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm just gonna tell you essentially what it is.
Sure.
It's like, okay, if you have goals, make peace with the actions and the sacrifices that you have to make to get there, or make peace with, I'm so butchering this.
That's okay.
No, I can't even continue.
Okay.
I'm going to mess it up.
That's fine. How long would it take you to find it? Because I can talk on something. Or let's just move on.
Because I don't think I have slides on, like Google Slides on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but let me tell you the gist of it. I can explain it in my own words.
All right, we're going to try again. Let's go.
We're going to try again here. So if you have physique goals, you need to be at peace. Think you're going to have to say no and you're going to have to make sacrifices.
Yes.
Or make peace with not making your goals and just kind of...
knowing that you're not going to reach your goal.
Yeah, that you're not willing to do it.
Yes.
And either is fine. It's the peace part that matters.
Yes.
Make peace with sacrifices, or make peace that like you're not hitting your goals because you're not willing to make the sacrifices. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
It's worded a lot better. Clearly, I don't remember it, but that's the gist of it. And it's really important because you can't be like, oh, like I'm so mad that like I'm not where I want to be, and you're eating shit.
Yeah.
Like you can't be mad. You're not allowed to complain if you're putting in the work.
Yeah.
It's
kind of like, and this is where I think some people will have an issue with us. The reason I love us is because we are
us.
We are very much on the same page around like, we know excuses happen. Mm-hmm. We know life happens, but it's like, how do you overcome those objections? How do you stop making the excuses and just be like, that's really shitty, but here's what I can do about it. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to do a woe is me, but like this past week has been crazy town in the Morgado household. I don't want to go over all like what's going on, but like, it's been a very, very tough time. And it would be super easy for me to be like, woe is me. I'm tired. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat like shit. And it's like, no, like good. Yeah. There's a lot of shit going on. If I can overcome everything that's going on in my life right now, that just tells me when things are going smoothly, it's like super easy to overcome that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's like when it is tough times, it's like, okay, good. Like let's persevere. How do I push through this? How do I make, how do I make lemonade out of this shitty situation?
Yeah. It's like summer's going to come around every year. So if you're someone who really, lays back, or you end up feeling like shit in fall all the time, I'd really look at like, is this a pattern that every summer it's hard? Yeah. So you just stop trying? Like that's a choice. Sure, summer's hard, but like you can still achieve your goals. I think that's what we're both big on is like, yes, you endure hard times. You can slow down instead of stop, but learning how to like manage your goals. I mean, summer's a great time. It's tough. What? It's only tough if you feel like you can't make the sacrifices. That's like, right. What's tough about it? That you have to say no?
Yeah. And let's be honest. So I think summer is a tough time because there can be more temptation around you, right?
For sure.
There's the barbecues that are going to happen.
It's light out till 9. There's the patios. There's like, it's a sunny day. I'll be the first to admit, like, we're not big drinkers, but like on a hot sunny day, like I could go for a cider.
100%.
Like,
but then on the flip side, it's also easier to stay active because we're outside more. You're doing yard work. You're playing with your kids who are maybe off on summer vacation. So like your step counts out. You're burning more calories because you're more active because the sunlight is out longer. So rather than looking at a negative of like, oh, I'm always tempted, it's like, okay, well, let's look at it at the positive. What does summer allow us to do more of? We can go hiking. We can go kayaking. We can go to the beach and, play in the sand and do all these bits. Like, I think it's actually an easier time to stay active.
Yeah, 100%.
Compared to
winter.
November. Yeah.
It's dark until 8 a.m. and it's dark at 4 p.m. That's a hard time to move.
I agree.
The summer actually should be the easiest time. Summer, I think, is harder for people nutritionally.
Yes.
Right. And, maybe schedules are different if your kids are home and they're not at camp, or you're like, your work schedule is a little bit different. So I think nutrition wise, but then again, you could say it's easier. Like Curtis and I were talking about this morning, because summer brings like fresh foods and salads and like grilled foods and the barbecue. So is it really hard?
So I'm a big barbecuer all year round, as you know.
Yeah.
And I think one of the beautiful things about a barbecue, if we think of like baking your food or, like pan frying your food, there's usually like a lot of oil and marinade that goes into that. Whereas when you think of barbecue, dry rubs, like you're not getting a lot of those additional hidden calories in some of the foods you're cooking on the barbecue.
Sitting in oil on a pan.
Absolutely.
Like you can marinate it, but
sure.
It's
So that's one of the other bits is like you're unlocking your barbecue during the summertime, depending what you're cooking. Like if you're cooking sausages and store-bought hamburgers all the time, that's not going to be ideal. But there is ways to really keep that diet nice and clean.
Yeah. So if someone wants to improve their physique over the summer, what are our top tips?
Throwing me on the spot. Now look at you taking on host.
I am the host today.
I think it's going to be important to find your summertime routine because things are going to change, right? Like I think for you, not so much for me right now, but like your kids are home for the summer. So that automatically means, all right, like what is this like daycare situation going to look like? What is my new normal going to be? And rather than being reactive and being like, oh shit, summer's here, what do I do? It's like, okay, start thinking now. We're at the beginning of June, right? The school's not out yet. Start to think about how your days are going to be. Start to plan out, all right, when am I going to do my strength training? Start to plan out when you're going to do your grocery shopping and your meal prepping and all those things. So I would really, really recommend trying to think proactively of your summertime routine now.
Yep, I agree. I'd also say let your household know your goals or your boundaries or your, what this new maybe routine is going to look like. Because if they don't know, there might be resistance to it, especially if you have kids or like if, you have someone at home that can watch the kids or no kids, but you know what I mean? Letting whoever's in your home know of your goals, if there's other people to consider. And then also if you're someone who maybe deep down, that you want to look and feel your best in summer, but you haven't, like just try and prove yourself wrong this summer. Like, why not? Instead of I can't, it's like, how could you? Like we just said, we just gave a lot of reasons why summer is actually an easy month for you to look and feel your best.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So be realistic and start prioritizing. Plan like you would normally plan. And it just will feel really good if you got through a summer. And it's like when people go on vacation, they're like, well, I'm going to gain 5 pounds because I'm going on vacation. It's just like, oh, it's summertime, so it's going to be hard. I'll pick up again in the fall. Like, why not do the opposite that you've been doing?
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing, and this is where I think sometimes when people hear us, like we seem very hardcore, but we're not like of the famous Brooklyn bumper sticker. It's like, it's progress, not perfection, right? So when we're talking about some sort of physique goal during the summer, that does not mean you need to be perfect. That doesn't mean you can't go to the barbecue. That doesn't mean you can't have the margarita. That doesn't mean that you can't have the chips or salsa or summertime foods that you love. It's just there needs to be some sort of sacrifice that you're making. Maybe you're not having a margarita every single day. You know what I mean? It's like maybe you have 1 a week or 2 a week, but like you can't just fully let go. There still needs to be some sacrifice, but we're not saying that you can't enjoy summer.
Yeah, no. And I think that is a misconception. Like people just think sometimes pushing for a goal means it has to be miserable.
Yeah, no.
I just started with a bunch of new women who are going to be working into summer. And, during our initial calls, those were questions, that, it is a social time, and I'll, pipe up real fast and be like, listen, we're not talking about canceling plans for the next 12 weeks and you living in your basement. Like, trust me, you can go out and enjoy things. And are you going to be challenged? Are you going to have to make sacrifices? Of course. But like next level Brooke or next level Isaac requires next level actions. You want to look different and be different, feel different. You have to do different. But that doesn't mean you hibernating for 12 weeks.
Absolutely.
And you know what they say? People that are more disciplined have more flexibility.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think that's a really important thing, is learning how to navigate summer, holidays, Christmas, vacations while working towards your goals. It doesn't have to be a detriment.
Yeah, absolutely. And then last sort of summertime tip, I think I talked about this last time and I'm like obsessed now, is
I know what you're going to say.
What?
You're going to say
alcohol-free beers.
Alcohol-free beer.
Yeah. So alcohol, or is it alcohol-free? Someone called me out.
Non-alcoholic, alcohol-free. You can tell you've never drank it before.
Yeah, Rachel from Lululemon called me out. Non-alcoholic beer, or like there's a bunch of non-alcoholic spirits you can get, non-alcoholic wine, like doing bits like that. They tend to be a lot lower calorie as well. So you can get some from like Partake, which is a non-alcoholic beer brand that are like 10 calories. I'll be honest, they don't taste the best, but if you get like the athletic brewing ones, there's some really good ones that are like 25 cals. But more importantly, there's no alcohol in there. So even if you are having one that's, let's say 50 cals or 100 cals, there's no alcohol. So if you are having it in the evening time, it's mainly just a carb. So it's not going to affect your sleep negatively like alcohol would have.
Right.
So you can still have a normal beer, and then maybe you have some alcohol or non-alcoholic beers afterwards. So
this was actually
my big hack this summer.
This was a this was a topic in our ladies chat earlier this week, because for the initial part of the program, we recommend, no alcohol. And there's been quite a few women who are now like, well, one for sure, it's 90 days. She hasn't had any alcohol. She feels amazing.
Good for her.
And we were talking about non-alcohol, and you should have seen all the recommendations that come up, like amazing, like good ingredient, non-alcoholic, like rosé, wine, ciders, beer. So there's a lot out there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I can give you some recommendations.
Perfect. Alcohol-free beer.
Alcohol-free.
Cool. That's great. Number 2 is, you've been working throughout the winter time, it's summertime, and you kind of want to just maintain. You're like, I don't necessarily want to focus on changing the way I look this summer. I want to enjoy it, but I don't want to like completely fall off the rails. What would you tell to that person? Like if they say my goal is to not change, would you be like, oh, that's kind of a lazy goal, or no?
No, not necessarily, because I think that there is a time and a season to push, and that maintenance is actually hard. It can be harder than the goal, right? So if you want to maintain, you still better have a fucking plan.
That's right.
Or else you are going to gain.
Yep.
So I think maintenance is great. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but you still need to have boundaries and rules with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is actually a fairly common goal.
It's probably the most common, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people confuse the maintain goal with the not give a fuck goal, where that's two completely different goals. If you're trying to maintain where you're at, think of it this way. You still kind of got to put the exact same effort that you've been putting in.
You can't put less in.
Exactly. Sure, if you've been on a fat loss journey and you're losing whatever, 0.25, half a pound a week, we can add some calories back. You can have
sure. You can go into more of a maintenance phase opposed to a deficit.
But you're not going to be like, okay, Margaritaville, let's go.
Yeah, or I'm working out 3-4 times a week, and I'm gonna do a lot of walking.
Yes.
Walking is wonderful, people, but it's not fucking lifting weights.
Yes.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Great, you got in 30,000 steps. Did you lift a weight that week?
Yes.
that might sound mean, and I'm not saying that walking isn't important, but it needs to be clear that it is not the same as lifting weights.
For
so
sure.
you need to keep your workouts consistent. I don't care if you're getting 10,000 extra steps a day. It's not training.
It's funny. And this is where like, I now feel like I'm in this running community. And
Yeah, you are.
And if, and I'm also in the strength training community. And if I have runners who are like, I want to take it easy and I'm only going to go on a few runs and I plan on just like walking and staying more active, I'm like, yeah, cool, perfect. You're still kind of doing the same thing in a sense. Mm-hmm. But if I have a strength training person that's like, yeah, I'm coming to the gym 3 times a week, but I'm only going to come like once and do some more walking and hiking. I'm like, nah, that's very different.
Yeah.
Because yes, hiking, things like that, they're building strength, but in a very, very different way. It's like you can't, it is very hard to replace strength training.
Mm-hmm. So it's irreplaceable unless you're throwing around boulders on your hike in the forest squatting, but like
exactly,
it's not. It's still great for you, sure, but yeah, it's not the same.
Yes.
So maintaining your consistent workout schedule, possible increase in calories if you're in a deficit, so working in that maintenance phase, but you still have to be really aware. There's a lot of people who get to a goal, hit maintenance, and they are very soon out of maintenance into a surplus and into the mindset of like, oh shit, I need to like dial things back in because they never practice maintenance. It's a little bit of a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Because people love to have that goal, that push, and aren't okay with just coasting for a little bit. So it's an important skill and it's hard. And I think it's a great one to practice during summer. But yeah, don't mistake it for I can take it easy now.
100%. And I think it's important too, when we say maintenance, I don't mean like today, if you weigh 200 pounds, it's going to be 200 pounds for the entire summer. Like it could fluctuate. Like it might fluctuate 5 pounds up or down. But it's like try not to let go too much. Mm-hmm. So I think we almost could have started with, no, we shouldn't have started with maintenance. We started the right way. You can't just give up entirely. You still need to put in the work to maintain all the results that you've been working so hard for over the past 4 months, over the past year, maybe over the past 2 years. So just don't bring in old lifestyle habits. Still keep those existing lifestyle habits that you've created over that time period.
Yeah, and you'd be feeling so good. Like,
100%.
You want to say like, oh, I'm going to just...
Yeah, I want to feel like shit again.
Says no one ever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect segue into person number 3, which is like the,
I don't care during the summer.
I don't care. I want to enjoy it. Hot guy, hot girl summer, whatever the kids are saying. Brat, I don't think that's the thing anymore. But like, I don't know. We talked about this yesterday. I'm like,
this is a cop out.
Do you really think this person exists?
Yeah, I think the person that doesn't want to do work.
Yeah.
That's being fucking lazy and they want to pretend like they actually don't care. Whenever you care, you're just not willing to work for it. Yeah. This is an honest podcast.
I know, this is why I love us, because it's like there's some people out there that are like, no, you need to take a break. We're not saying don't take a break. No. We're just saying like
don't not care.
Exactly. You have to. It's your health.
Yeah, don't not care.
100%.
And like it's just I could never understand something because like I don't care about my health over the summer.
Yeah.
I don't care about eating. Okay.
I really don't think this person exists. Like I don't.
I don't think that person exists. I think that there are people that will say that, but I don't think that there's anybody who really doesn't care how they feel.
Yeah. I agree.
It's like I said, it's a way to rationalize their behavior and their lack of discipline.
Yes. When you say, I think you said earlier, it's a cop out. I agree in the sense that I think that person is probably a part of those other 2 categories, and they had a bad week and they're like, no, this is like my I don't care summer. It's like, well, no, you probably just had a couple bad weeks, which is fine. Like even if you're in the first or second category and you have a bad week, that doesn't mean that you still don't have a goal. Yeah. You just, you pick yourself up by your bootstraps and you go.
And like saying that, I think if you say like, I don't really care during the summer, you're setting the bar really low.
Yeah.
So where do you aim? You aim low. You're not setting high expectations because maybe you're scared that you're not going to meet them and you just don't want to put that kind of pressure on yourself. But there is healthy pressure and you should set the bar high.
Yeah.
Or medium height, if you don't want to because your actions will follow through on that. If you say you don't care, you're probably not going to care. And then if you don't feel bad about it because you didn't say that you wanted to care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think the person exists, but I don't think that person really wants to be that person.
No. And if you are this unicorn person, first off, there's no judgment from us. Like, hey, you do you. Like, well, we want you to enjoy your time.
Yeah, we want you to be healthy and fit.
But chances are there will be a time, maybe it's September, maybe it's October, where you're like, okay, now I got to get back into it. And it's like, now you've just created a bunch of bad habits and lifestyle choices over the past 3 months, and it's going to be really hard to change those.
Yeah.
Sorry for the abrupt cutting. My parents are going to my house right now, and I love my mom and my dad, but like they're not like very technologically savvy. So like we have a door code. I'm like, yeah, here's the door code. And it's never like, I don't think I'm doing this right. It's not working. It's broken. I'm like, I think you're broken. It's not the door code that has worked for every single other person.
It's definitely broke today.
My favorite, little mini rants here. My parents are both European. They moved here when they were in their 20s, so they're foreign, and I can say that because it's my parents and they're foreign, and I love them. And I would I'm like sad for Mateo that he won't grow up with immigrant parents because it's just amazing to see that. But like with the iPad, we'll FaceTime my mom pretty much every day, and she never picks up her FaceTime. Okay, so then I'll call her the house to be like, "Hey, Mom, we're trying to FaceTime you." She said, and every time. It is the same. Oh, she's trying to FaceTime me right now. Every time it is the same, and it's like, I was right here. I don't know why it didn't work. I'm like, it's because you don't have the volume turned on. And then she's like, the volume's turned on. And then she starts yelling like,
my gosh. I love that you can imitate her accent so perfectly.
Yeah, Mama Margato. Anyways, I mean, we probably could have ended the podcast before we...
I had something I was going to say.
You always have something to say. But yes.
I remember what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
No, finish. Because you were saying about, we were saying about like come September, you've gotten all these. So finish.
But do you have a thought on that?
I was going to say that I think that it's okay to want to dial back in a certain sense in September, but you just don't want to be from like a deep dark hole, right? Like again, going into that maintenance phase. I will have a lot of clients and past clients that feel like, okay, you're getting into a new routine in September because the kids are back at school and maybe your work hours are, back to normal, whatever. There's just, a different pace in September. So I think it's okay for people to want to dial back in, but you don't want it to be like trying to take off 20 pounds that you put on over the summer. Yeah. There's a difference in like dialing it in a little bit and like honing in and feeling like you are starting from zero.
Yeah. So I'll just talk about myself. During the summer, I'm not a huge drinker, but during this
alcoholic-free beer.
But now I drink non-alcohol beer. But now I don't even know what the way I said it was. But anyways, I know during the summer I go to more patios. Our run club gets a lot bigger, and we go to like Toboggan or Barney's after. So there's usually another beer there. After like real yard work, like at home, I want to have a beer. So like I know I probably drink more during the summer. This summer might be different with alcohol-free beer. But if it wasn't, let's say, come September, really the one thing I need to change is like just cutting back the beer.
And you probably,
to normal.
That would be easy because the weather is going to be different. It's like,
100%.
It kind of goes with the seasons.
But it's not like, okay, I need to start going to the gym again. I need to get rid of the beer. I know I'm having, barbecue every single day, like a not good barbecue every single day. I'm eating out more. I'm doing all these I'm having ice cream every single day. It's like, I don't have to cut all of those things. It's usually just one. Everything else kind of stays consistent.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool if that's kind of where you're at. But like, if you're like, I'm going to go and have ice cream at Haven's every day.
And I'm going to go to bed 3 hours later. And I'm not going to have a morning routine during the summer because it's summer. Then that's a lot to change.
Yes.
And it feels like a bigger hit. And then also remember, it's like you can have those beers because it's not what you do all the time.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
What you do all the time is more important than what you're doing every now and then or once a week. It's like that 80-20. Like, figure out what does your summer look like? Is it a 90-10 if you're trying to improve your physique? Maybe it's an 80-20 with maintenance, which might seem high, but I think that's realistic. Like 80-20 to maintain a good physique or, is kind of where, I don't know, I think is a good healthy bar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah. So as a reminder, the 3 people, you have like a, one, you have like a body physique goal that you're trying to maintain. So maybe you're going to be making some additional sacrifices this summer. 2 is you're that person that's maintaining. If that's your goal, just remember, you're not going off the rails and doing whatever you want to do for the summer. You still need to keep those lifestyle habits. And then 3 is that person that just doesn't even care. I think that's a unicorn person that doesn't really exist. Everyone cares to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But just remember, regardless of what your goal is, still enjoy your summertime. We don't get months and months and months and months of summer here in Canada. So get outside. Don't say no to hanging out with your friends and doing those fun things. But just know, like, you don't want to dig too much of a hole. You don't want to create too much of these bad habits that you then need to, redo come September or October.
Yeah. And I think one other important point is just to like own it, like own whatever your choice is. And if that is to dig in deep and, build that physique, you're only missing out if you think you're missing out, right? If having the cake isn't a big deal for you, then who cares? Like say no, right? No one should give a shit about what you're eating and what you're drinking. And I think social pressure is a big thing for people. They automatically, don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the girl who doesn't have the chips. And I'm like, fucking be that girl. What's wrong with that girl? She's proud about what she's doing. She's confident in what she's doing. She's doing it for the betterment of herself and to feel her best. There's nothing wrong with that. And we were talking about this quickly yesterday about the ice cream thing, right? About how you can go for ice cream. And there's a lot of people be like, I don't want to miss out on ice cream with my family.
Yeah.
People, you can still make memories without having the ice cream. Your kids aren't really going to care. I've not had ice cream with my family multiple times. My kids don't ask me. They don't. Or they'll be like, Mom, do you want a bite? And I'll be like, sure. Or like, why didn't you get your own? Oh, I didn't feel like it. You don't need to say I'm trying to cut. Your kids don't need to know. And I think your language around that matters. But like, no one should really care what you're doing if you are confident in it, right? People will test you. But if you have your boundaries and you stick to them, people will learn it. So when you show up and you drink your non-alcoholic beer at a party where everyone's drinking, and that's just what you do, people probably aren't going to try and tempt you or whatever, or you're so confident in your choice that it doesn't matter. Yeah. Right. So I think it's important to own whatever boat you put yourself in because that's going to dictate your follow through.
Yeah. Yep. I
Does that
like
make
it.
Sense?
It makes complete sense.
Okay.
Any other final thoughts, concerns, questions?
Don't ask me or I'll think of something to say.
Yeah. And then you'll just talk.
That's it.
Okay. I don't want to toot my own horn.
Yes,
or
you do.
Our own horns.
Okay.
But this was a really good episode.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
I think so.
It was great.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, okay. I agree.
Okay. See you guys.
Bye.